all the students, they like this topic and they just catch me out of class and they keep asking me for hours and hours. And Michael said, I wish you did this before because it's interesting. So I think a variety for subject, it will help a lot to understand everything in this life, not only politics. Like I say, the politics is interesting to us, but even if you express yourself or you measure, maybe I'm an architect, so maybe I can express my point of view, how they design building in my country, how it's different in your country, how it's different in Korea or Chinese. And I think the variety of the topic, that we have to accumulate that and the same class.
Last class, my group started to touch, when we did the, what's it called? The alligator river story. My group started to touch on like the differences in like family and marriage, like the difference in cultures, like what a wife would do for a husband in that culture, or what a wife is supposed to do, or what the kids are supposed to do. I think that would be really interesting to learn about the differences in culture.
Because it seems like everybody don't want to talk about politics. but anyway, it's not because I love politics, but we have to understand politics. But we can discuss another issues like social conflicts in different countries. Conflict based on religion, based on power. Like conflict based in history on social aspects or religious aspects, not necessarily to be political. We can discuss this because the class is international. We can get the benefit in future by discussing these topics. It's not only stick with the most famous examples. There's some examples are not very famous, but very useful to know it.
I'd like to suggest one more thing, that as we already know that there are so many races, almost every race is African American and whites, Korean, Chinese, and Vietnamese, and there also are many religious faiths in this very small class. There are Muslims and Christian and Catholic and Buddhism. So we could have talked about the religious faiths and shared opinions, and it could be, and it would be the greatest chance and opportunity to understand others' faith, religious faith. So it would be great.
Well, I noticed that like once everyone started to get to know each other and get comfortable with each other towards the middle of the semester, everyone was more comfortable talking about their personal experiences and their personal feelings and their personal lives. And I thought that like the dialogue we had last time with the alligators or whatever, I thought a lot like it was going on back and forth, like we were just shouting stuff, and then I thought it would be interesting towards the end of the semester or the middle, when people have gotten accustomed to each other, to talk about things that affect people's life personally, like drinking while driving, or, for instance, abortions and stuff like that. I think that would be interesting to talk about as a semester progresses.
I think those are the kinds of topics that brought everybody out of their shell.
Yeah.
Like, I think the ones that everybody had the opportunity, when you're talking about American politics, of course the American students know a lot more than, a non-American about the we grew up around it, so, that's all it was just really interesting to see when we changed to other topics that people had a lot of ammunition or a lot of contribution, of their own to offer, how much more people opened up. And one answer to your question that I won't go into explaining, but there's a lot of parallels between this class and the class on interpersonal conflict, conflict 320. That's the exact kind of, the everyday topics are a lot of things that we cover. And I think that the 320 class would be another class that would work very well in this format.
Stephanie,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it'd also be interesting to talk about like education, the differences in education, and we started to touch on it one day. We started to talk about affirmative action, but we never got to dialogue about it. And I think that'd be a really interesting topic, considering that the class is made up of international students. It'd be interesting to hear the different viewpoints towards affirmative action, especially since it affects a lot of people our age, and I think we could all really relate to it.
And I want to just step in here for just a moment, and I want to thank you all for these comments, because this is our plug for next semester. The dialogue does not have to end here, and we are going to, next semester, we're going to continue the dialogues. And what we're looking for is we're looking for